know that.
What are you doing?
You think the louder you yell, something's gonna change?
This cop messed up real bad. So bad that in fact all his juniors snitched on him. But that was nothing compared to the embarrassment he felt when higher authority cracked down on him. On August 15, 2019, two brothers attended the Feast of the Assumption Festival and were busking on the sides when they were asked by officers to leave the scene. They complied, but as soon as they were about to leave, they bumped into one scummy cop that decided to arrest them anyway.
Okay, he's not touching it.
You guys are.
You wanna let go of your...
We're not touching it.
That's too tight. Okay, let me undo it. That's too tight. Relax.
Let go.
That's too tight. Let me undo it. Relax.
Hey, why are you guys touching?
Why are you touching us?
This is illegal.
That's illegal.
We didn't.
Touching us.
Calm down so they don't say that you're doing anything. Just calm down. You know that.
What are you doing?
You think the louder you yell, something's gonna change?
Why are you doing this?
You have the right.
Why are you doing this?
We're protecting you.
You're not protecting me. You're hurting me.
What?
You think the louder you yell,
You just
something's gonna change?
assaulted me.
Good.
You're hurting me.
What do you
Step
mean?
back.
Good.
Step back.
Yeah, you got that too tight. It's too tight.
What are you doing?
Loosen it.
Let go of some of this shit.
Let go of that stuff.
Loosen it.
Let go of some of this stuff.
Loosen the cuffs. Loosen the cuffs.
They will.
Loosen the cuffs.
Shut up.
Loosen the cuffs. Loosen the cuffs.
Well, you're...
Loosen it.
There's nothing wrong. You got some computers in there.
Loosen the cuffs. Loosen the cuffs. Stop. What are you doing? Ow. What are you doing?
The brothers were unfairly arrested and escorted back to the police van. The officer in white, Captain Zuba, shoved one of the brothers out of spite.
Let it go.
Dude, that's my phone.
Let it go. We'll put it in your bag. Which bag is this?
Being recorded.
Captain Zuba takes one of the brothers' phone. Keep this in mind because this will be important later on. The brothers were stuffed in the van and taken to jail and were set free 6 hours later. They got all their items back except for the phone Captain Zuba took. The brothers reported the theft and Internal Affairs visited them days later to discuss the matter.
Holder number 4, like 80% sure that's him. Sorry.
You can just sign it and write what percentage you believe that's and who do you think that is?
Captain Zuba.
Okay.
This is clearly Bush.
Okay, what percentage are you sure?
100%.
Okay. From here, we gather any facts we can. We're gonna go to Little Italy to see if there's any surveillance footage there.
Okay.
Stuff like that. And we present the facts to a prosecutor, and the prosecutor will determine if the officers committed a crime or not.
This here is one of the bike I had that they returned that and the guitars, no problem.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, aside from your cell phone, they gave you everything else back. Just your cell phone was not in your bag or nothing like that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be accusatory, but it was kind of wrong what happened, man. And I think they might have destroyed the cell phone because of the evidence of him assaulting me on it.
Almost all the deputies present at the scene told Internal Affairs that the captain told them to turn their body cams off. Only one officer's body cam was on, and that would come back to bite Zuba in the behind.
Did you have a WCS camera on that day?
I did have it with me, yes.
And why wasn't it activated during the incident?
Captain told us no cameras.
How come you didn't activate it?
I was told not to.
And by who?
The captain.
Okay, and when did he tell you that?
The beginning, before we got dropped off.
Did you have your WCS on you at the time?
Did I have it on me or turned on?
On you.
On me, yes, I had it on me.
Did you turn it on?
No, I did not.
And why is that?
We were told initially from the captain not to turn them on, and then I was thinking we were off duty, so we didn't think we had to have them on.
Captain Zuba was going to face the worst embarrassment of his life.
And the officers who were in the area of these two individuals informed you that they had been placed under arrest. Is that still your statement today?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall which officer or officers informed you that they had been under arrest at that point?
Bush.
Bush did that. And this is as the Workman brothers are approaching you. The officers are someone behind them at that time? Is that correct?
No, they're all surrounding them.
They're surrounding them when you first encountered them? And Officer Bush tells you that they are under arrest?
Yes, sir.
Did he say for what charges?
I don't recall that, and I do remember that they weren't in handcuffs.
Right. So, Officer Bush was interviewed by Sergeant Sheehan by the City of Cleveland Division of Police Internal Affairs Division, and during that interview, he stated that that he had not placed them under arrest nor cited them and had no intentions of doing so, and it was his understanding that you ordered him to do so. Would that statement by Officer Bush be accurate?
No.
Okay, so his saying that to Officer Sheehan in his recorded interview, would he be mistaken in that or lying about that?
I would imagine he's just mistaken.
Oh, he wasn't mistaken, all right. Lying through his teeth wasn't going to help him, since Internal Affairs already interviewed all the other officers.
A violation of this church's rule, would that be a criminal offense?
As far as I understand, yes.
Because within the city of Cleveland, isn't it lawful to do the act they were doing? If had it not been for the church prohibition against that, would their actions be lawful?
As long as they weren't obstructing.
Right. So the permit that the church holds or held for that feast, did it detail the permit holder's right to curtail otherwise lawful activity by citizens?
That's beyond me.
Because my understanding from Sergeant Sheehan from the Internal Affairs that the church's permit only granted them two areas of authorization: to block the street and to encumber the sidewalks with certain displays.
Okay.
So, that being said, how could they control otherwise protected First Amendment speech and actions that per Section 657801 is permissible conduct within the city of Cleveland?
Zuba was trying to say that the church's authority overruled the Constitution, which was straight BS. The investigator gave him a law that shut Zuba up real fast.
Also, Captain DeZuba,
It says 4 o'clock.
did you, 4 o'clock, at any time, did you order any officers who were working this detail to not activate their WCS?
No.
You never ordered anyone to do that?
No. Tony tomorrow had his on.
Right. He's the only one did, and he said the reason why he had his on, he wasn't assigned to that detail. He works, I guess, community policing that's already working the Little Italy area. Is that correct? And so he's the only one who had his on. That's the only reason we got this.
No, there
Except
were.
for the only other officers who had theirs on were the officers who transported them, who was Officer Turner and Love. And in their IA interviews, Patrol Officer Bush, Patrol Officer Anderson, Dominique Anderson, badge number 1753. Patrol Officer Scott Carey, badge number 2400. Patrol Officer Richard DeVelchio Jr., badge number 1278. Patrol Officer Musina, Patrol Officer Wright, Patrol Officer Cody Dorner, badge number 269. They all stated in their IA interviews that you ordered them not to activate their WCS camera. In fact,
Zuba's face was turning red. He knew he was screwed. It was 7 testimonies against his 1. Were all of them liars?
It's a direct statement that they're saying the captain orders them not
every
to
last
turn it on.
one make that direct.
Not that somebody had said we're not turning our cameras
Every
on
last
during this
one.
event. So the captain would have had to go to each one of them and directly say, do not turn your camera
Some of them
on.
said it was said when they were getting off the bus, because I guess they rode a bus to this detail,
And
then
who the captain
and then-
met them at the bus.
and I think it was Del Vecchio who says during the actual arrest, he goes up to Captain DeZuba and said, should I have my WCS on during this? And Captain DeZuba said, no. Again, these are what these officers are saying in their interviews. Each and every one of them, to a man, all said, including Officer Bush, every officer said they were ordered by Captain DeZuba to cut off to not activate their WCS. each and every one of them, and none of them had their WCS on.
Well, can he
And I
speak to
asked
that?
him, yeah, he already answered it. He said he didn't issue that order.
Get off a bus?
And some said during this arrest, they were told, don't go on.
Okay. Did you ever tell them during the arrest, don't
So
turn
those
your
officers,
camera on?
again, those officers who made those statements during their IA interviews, they're mistaken or lying about you issuing that order?
I can't tell you why they said what they said. Well, I was standing next to, I believe, Kozar and Tomorrow. Tomorrow had his video on.
Right, he's the only one.
If I had said anything during the arrest, it would be on Tony's video.
Well-
If I said, don't turn your videos on, Tony would have shut his off. They could be saying whatever they want to
But
protect themselves.
I think Officer Tomorrow is saying he wasn't working that detail. Is that correct? He wasn't working that detail?
He was
assigned
working
you?
for me.
He's working though for the city.
He's working for the city, right, but not
There.
there.
Detailed there.
There.
Well,
Detailed
he said that's
there.
his ordinary.
He's not working. He's not working part-time there. Some guys work secondary employment. Some guys work for the city.
None of this was secondary employment. All of this was working for the city, paid, and each officer
Right,
said
that
they
was
filled
a
out an
big
overtime card.
confusion.
They all
That's-
filled out an
okay.
overtime card. That's not a secondary employment issue.
Okay, but
At
what
all.
he's
Tony worked directly for me.
here's what he's saying.
Right, but that's his regular thing. And so Officer Tomorrow, again, I'm not interjecting I'm saying what Officer Tomorrow is saying. He's saying he had his WCS on because he didn't come there with them.
I understand.
Part of this.
We agree. He had it on, and he's working for the city. They're all working for the city. The other ones don't have it on. But I agree with you. You're telling me he has his on because we know there's a camera footage.
The interview footage suddenly cuts off for unknown reasons. There's so much corruption going on that it's insane. The only officer whose body cam was on had a lot of interesting details to share, as well as some other officers.
Prior to this day, had you ever encountered these two guys?
I've never encountered them, but I've seen them around downtown before.
Okay. They always stand around and play their guitar? Is that what they do, or they just...
I've seen them on 4th Street playing their guitar.
Okay.
I was in the downtown unit.
Are they normally allowed to do that?
I'm not sure. I would imagine.
Okay. Did you witness Captain DeZuba, or let me start with this, did you witness either of the two guys trying to record Captain DeZuba on their cell phone?
I don't know if they were trying to record them. They had cell phones.
Okay. Did you see Captain DeZuba try to take the cell phone out of one of the guy's hands?
I think during the arrest, I took one of the cell phones out of the person's hand.
Okay, but you didn't witness Captain DeZuba ever... Because the complaint is that Captain DeZuba grabbed the guy's hand when he was trying to film him and twisted his arm.
No.
You didn't witness anything like that?
No.
Okay. The way how I translate your video is that you kind of were walking up after this initially started. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So in your video, you take Joseph Workman's cell phone out of his hand. That's the guy with the white T-shirt on.
Yeah, one of them.
And the video shows you handed to Captain DeZuba.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened afterwards?
No.
Okay, so did you see Captain DeZuba with the phone after you handed it to him?
No, because I think even while I was putting stuff in the van, my camera caught DeZuba and he didn't have it.
Okay.
So I don't know if he set it down somewhere.
And that's the next question. You don't know what he did with the phone after that? Okay. Do you know why these guys were arrested? Do you know what they were charged with?
No.
Okay. Were you present when they were issued a minor misdemeanor citation?
I think somebody was asking for a minor misdemeanor book.
Okay.
Or maybe as I was walking away or something.
But you weren't there. So after your camera goes off, you were out of there. You didn't return at all. You didn't have any.
No.
Okay. Did you see any other officers with their cell phone?
With the suspects?
Yeah, with that same cell phone that you took from the hand and handed to the Zuba. Have you heard anything about what happened to it by chance?
It's highly likely that Zuba stole that phone and destroyed it. It probably had even more severe incriminating evidence on him.
I only created a path to the van with
Okay.
you guys.
Did you have a WCS camera on that day?
I did have it with me, yes.
And why wasn't it activated during the incident?
Normally, like, we never really used them at the feast. I've done it a few times, but also Captain told us no cameras.
When did he say that?
Right around the time the gentlemen were being arrested prior to, right around there, people were like, no, everybody just kept saying no cameras. Like, the captain said no cameras. I got a no camera sign, so I didn't turn mine on. I didn't turn it off.
Okay. Do you know why he said that? Is there a reason? Or?
No, I didn't question it. Anytime somebody higher up says no camera, I turn it off.
Okay.
Or don't activate.
All right. For this incident, had you how many days did you work it on the detail?
I think I worked almost every day. I think I worked every day.
Okay, and it was overtime?
Yeah, I turned in an overtime card.
Okay. Were you given the option of using your personal vehicle to park there and work, or was it meet at the district and...
We all met at the district, and then we got transported.
Do you know if officers had the option to take their personal vehicle?
I think a couple guys did drive. I don't recall, but I want to say a couple guys did drive though. And parked in the family lot.
And you don't know who gave them permission to do that?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna have you look at this. This is just a picture of your guys' property book, and the line's highlighted. Did you write that in the property book?
I did not.
Okay. Do you recognize that handwriting?
I do not.
Okay. When you put something in the property book, do you also enter it into LERMS and put a tag on it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And do a property found sort of report?
Yeah, there would have been a report done when we turned it in.
Okay. Do you normally put multiple items on the same line?
No, sir.
You usually do individual lines?
There's an individual line for each item.
Okay.
Zuba didn't even allow the phone to be registered as evidence. He stole it from the brothers and hid it from the officers. After this whole charade, the brother filed a lawsuit against the PD and won a settlement of $66,000. Captain Zuba was only relieved from his duties for a few days and still works at the same PD. Do you think Zuba's punishment was fair? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more crime content. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check this next one out too.
Taser. To arrest 3 Americans for saying, you better back off.